Many people lost their homes that were right on the river. They have nowhere to live, so instead of living in a tent while they rebuild their home or get a new place to live, Stephanie has been putting this thing together with donated sheds. So sheds, finish them out, place to live, temporary, better than a tent, right?
Yeah, so what happened was we were helping on a street. The houses were destroyed, and I found out one man decided to go back and live in a gutted trailer, kind of in a makeshift tent, because his property was looted for the very few things he had left, tools. So when we found that out, we did a quick fundraiser and bought him a shed, finished it out, turned it to a little tiny home, and then we just decided to keep asking if there were people who had the same need, and it turns out there are a lot of people who are trying to stay on their properties, and they need a place to stay, and it's better than a tent. You know, it's not a long-term solution, but it gets people in a safe environment, because our weather is not really conducive for tent camping unless you have thousands of dollars worth of tent gear. You need really good equipment to camp in these woods.
And a lot of people don't want to leave their property.
And they don't want to leave their property. They're driving, they're at temporary housing, they're staying with people. So this kind of closes the gap so they can do the work on their property and keep an eye on the very few things they have left. And so it keeps them on their property so they can protect what they have.
Great. So the cost for one of these is about $5,000. It depends on the size. Some are a little more, some are a little less. We get the sheds here. Stephanie lines them up here. She has 9 of them. If you see the ones with the yellow tags, these are the ones reserved. I think the biggest need is getting the labor to finish them out, but we're working on some volunteers here from aerialrecovery.org. We'll kind of show you what it looks like. And what happens is, Stephanie, please correct me if I'm wrong or jump on in here, but we take the shell, insulate them. Go ahead, honey. We put one light in, at least one window. Go ahead. Heating, no air conditioning, right?
Some places might have power coming back to their area, and some are not going to have power for a long time, like up to a year. So all we're doing is putting an outlet box in them. So whether they need to run a generator outside, they can, and then a light. So they're set up. This size would be for like a single person, or this one is actually for a single gentleman. And then it also gives them storage, because these homes were destroyed, and storage is a problem. Everything, you know, above wherever the water line was, people are trying to keep some of their things and they don't have a place to put them. So having some upper storage and some of the larger ones, that's actually where people are sleeping. So we're putting a railing and it turns into a little loft bed, or they can use it to save the very few things they have left.
Excellent. So. And it's heated, which is nice because it's about to be winter.
Yeah, we've got heaters donated. We're working on beds right now. We're trying to do real mattresses and box springs so that it's comfortable, which also adds insulation and keeps people warm, and you know, it gives them a place to sleep. We can't solve all the problems. Other people have to come in and do the bathroom side of it, which a lot of people are donating porta potties in those situations.
But this is a huge step up from a tent.
Yeah, it's a step up from a tent. It gets people safe and warm. It gives them a place to put their stuff that can stay out of the weather. And yeah.
What's the biggest need right now?
Well, we got our crew. There's some volunteers offering to help finish them out, and we actually have a hired crew that's going to come in and work on them. You know, people got to make money still, so we have to move out of volunteering to do the work and pay people, because they got families to take care of. So we'll be raising more funds. There's a link I can drop below, and people who need a home fill out this form, and it tells us exactly their needs. For example, one is a parent with 4 children, so we've got that situation mapped out. That's different than this, obviously. And then financing. So if you want to donate, the money goes to that. If this project were to end because there isn't a need anymore, our focus is housing. So helping, any funds would then transfer into fixing homes, helping people. The goal is helping people stay on their property, be safe, warm, and get back into a home.
Great. So. Excellent. Well, thank you, Steph, for all your hard work. It's amazing. And thank you, everybody who's donating and praying for Western North Carolina. We appreciate you. Thanks.